Welcome to Off-Duty Engineer. I am Alan. This channel is for some of my scale modeling projects, plastic aircraft, wooden ships, and dioramas to display them. This is part 2 of the 3 parts. This covers the build of the body up to the painting. Well, that's the spray painting done. Silver, grey, silver on the inside, silver on the loading bay doors, light grey, USA grey on the front, the cockpit area, the whole cockpit done, and all the various components done with a spray brush, airbrush. Next is to start painting the detail and putting it together. Following on the previous part, I've now completed the cockpit. I've changed the seats to the green, Maduri green as well, webbing color, and I have sprayed this in clear varnish, the satin clear varnish with an airbrush. I've completed all the Maduri green inside there, and inside there. That's all done. And I have coated this with clear as well. That's complete. This part over here, you saw me finishing that last time. This is now got clear varnish on it as well. I did do panel lines to highlight some of the pipe work over there, but you're not going to see any of that anyway. This I did a little darker. Just completed it with a panel line. Just rubbed it over. Didn't actually change the color of it at all. Give it a bit of a worn look. And that's got clear on it as well. And the top has also got clear on it. Use panel lines. You're not going to see this anyway because this is folded up. You're going to see the outside of this on the inside. I've also completed all the finishes over here and given this a clear coat. The inside of that half of the fuselage, same. And all the components like these doors are done with the webbing color on the inside. Outside will be the outside color. These are done. Part of the construction work is there is done. The fire extinguisher and the broom set to clean up, they're done and got clear on them as well. Those actually fit in over there and over there. I better put those in next, put them there to remind me. Okay, so the next step would be to assemble this whole lot and to tie this all very tightly together and then run glue down the inside, this extra fine, extra thin Tamiya, run that down in all the edges. Don't think I need to glue it and then bolt it or tie it together. I think I'm going to tie it and then run the glue into it. I'll see how that goes though, because it's going to have to be done in pieces. Just tie one section down, let it set, and tie the next section down, let it set, and so forth, just to get a good bond all the way through. All right, that's the next big step, to tie these together like that. And like that, ladder on, that ladder goes down over there, and start putting this together. Let me put these on first. Okay. To add a bit, in the instructions it shows an 80-gram weight here in the nose. So I've used weights before, Shackleton, to keep the front down. And I used this lead. This is plumber's lead, bar of it. What is interesting is this whole bar here that is 135, 140 millimeters long, weighs 130 grams, this whole thing. I need 80 grams, which is most of this. So I've got to somehow put most of this into this front nose here, which is going to be an interesting challenge. Might have to cut it into 3, put it here underneath the cockpit. Okay, let's see how that pans out. And then I have to tie it in so it doesn't rattle around. When I started gluing the fuselage together, it took me a while to get the clamps and the positions right, to get the gaps small enough, especially around the front here. I ended up having to trim those lead weights a little bit with a big file, because they were now glued in with super glue, just to trim them around to the shape of the nose a little bit. Not much, so I had to take off about 0.5 millimeter. But I also had to take off some of the cockpit floor that was pushing on the side over there, preventing it closing by about a 0.5 to 1/4 millimeter. So I trimmed that out with a knife, and that came right. These elastic bands work the best with these clamps over here, just to hold it together. These clamps, absolutely stupid. Throw them away. Yeah, I tried using tape around here. This insulation tape works well, but it leaves a glue mark which I had to take off. The masking tape, you can't pull tight enough because it breaks, tears. So I ended up just with the multiple elastic bands. Yeah, then once this was all set nicely, I then just started the front. I ran a bit of extra thin just along the tip, along there, not underneath the elastic bands, because it might cause it might leave a mark there, or run under the elastic band and spoil the plastic. And I ran a little bit there, which I had to hold for a little bit. And I ran it gently all the way along the back here to about there. And on the other side, I ran it a little bit, all the way up to there. So that's glued now. It's all looking good. There's hardly a gap at all. I'm very pleased with that. Yeah, for such an old kit, even raised panel lines that old. Yeah, it looks good. Minimal work to be done. Absolutely minimal work. Just probably missed a surfacer and that's it. There's a little bit of work to do. This little loose panel here, along the edge there, didn't match very well, but minor. Yeah, so now I'm going to leave this for a few hours and just let it dry, because this glue I just wanted to set properly. Then I'll take the elastic bands off. Then I'll run glue along the gaps again. Okay, so I've glued the main body halves together. I've let it dry overnight. You can see the gaps are quite minimal. I've concentrated on getting the gaps at the top to a minimum. So at the bottom, yeah, I've had to just fill in this gap a little bit. Scrape it with the back of the knife, any ridge, to get the ridge off. Then use the coarse stick over there, okay, to get it reasonably flat. Then I filled it with good old Humbrol model filler and a nice flat knife. And then done that along the back. Underneath, also done this little tail piece, put it on. It had gaps all over the place there, so I expected a bit of work there. But it's at the back, so I think it'll be okay. Then while I was working on this, the joint over here split. Remember, I had put just extra thin Tamiya on there, and it just opened up a little bit. So I ran some proper Contactor Professional in, the Revell, and I then clamped it shut again. This here is just to push it down to make those two edges meet. So to polish up, you see this little piece over here I mentioned before wasn't good. So I had just taken the ridge off. I had sanded it down a little bit. I put in the filler, and then this morning I took coarse stick a little bit, very lightly, medium stick a bit more, fine stick quite a lot, and the extra fine. And it has gone right back down to raw plastic again, and very happy with that result. Okay, now we move on. Just going to wait for this to dry. Be a few hours, just don't want to mess with it. And then I'll tidy up these joints. Then I'll come back and tidy up the top. Not much to tidy up there. The less the better. So yeah, my plan to glue it with 0 gaps has worked mostly, except along the bottom, but certainly along the top it has. Well, now I've tidied up these joints. This one still needs a little bit of tidying up there. I had to re-glue it a little bit over here where it split open slightly because of the Tamiya thin that I used, extra thin. I opened it up a little bit by hand, ran some Revell glue into there, and then reclamped it last night. So this is the morning. Yeah, so the top looks okay, that looks okay. Underneath, this is all done. This is finalized. This is okay. What I did do is I put small pieces of plastic bridging these joints over there and over there. I glued them inside, just leftover sprue. I put a piece in over there, put a piece in over there. I did put a piece in over there behind the canopy lip there, in front of the top control panel. And I think I might add one in just behind this dashboard over there. It's just to strengthen up the joints at the seam points. Okay, I can look to see later to put any in here once I know if the wheel arches or the wheels are going to foul that or the wheel covers. So this can come off now. Yeah, I've looked at the fit of this tail. It's good. There is a bit of a step over there. See a bit of a step over there. So I might just take that down a little bit to make this maybe a little bit on this side as well. Just on the side over there to make this fit a little better, because there's a slight gap on the side. Actually not even worth worrying about. Then that is ready. I've checked the side piece, the tail as well. They're good. All right. So the next I might just take the Surfacer 500 and run it on one or two of the seams here. Again, the minimum, the better. Okay. The more you sand, the more you take away the panel lines and so forth. So I might just touch up the odd place here and there with the Surfacer 500 and a brush. And then, of course, this is not water-based, so you clean the brush with thinners. And then let that dry, which won't take long, and then just give it a last final top. Again, I'm using the Hobby Basics Extra Fine, which is not that fine. I use a coarse, but I won't anymore. There's the medium, which I'll probably not use again, maybe. But then the fine and the extra fine, these are the two working ones that I'm using there, the AKs. They're very nice. I'll get some more of those. Yeah, Umbrel, the filler, I still have to do the bottom of the wings. There's the two holes for the drop tanks on each wing. I've just got to fill that up because I'm not using the drop tanks. Yeah, looking good. Of course, just tidy up odd pieces here and there on the wings, and then that's ready. Okay, so next is the Surfacer, final finish. And I've test fitted the doors as well. These doors, they work well. I've got the lift struts ready, and so forth. So I can finish off that part, and I can start with the undercarriage. Once I've got the undercarriage done, then I can put in all the siding parts, fit the tail parts, fit the wings with the strut through the middle. And then fit the canopy. That'll probably do next, because the canopy doesn't fit that well. I need to just tidy up some of these edges here to take the canopy. And then mask that glasswork and give it a spray. I'll fit all these doors. These doors closed. I'll fit that door closed. I'll mask this off. I don't have to for the primer. I'll fit that door closed just temporarily for the primer. Then it's going to be a big plant to start working with. Yeah, I'll wipe it down and then put primer on it. I have the SMS primer ready. I got that the other day. Surfacer Grey, brand new bottle. Should be good. Yeah, we'll move on from there. Well, hi there. Well, we finished all the joint work along the top, along the bottom, and along the nose. I did put in some strengthening brackets across the back over there, across these joints over here, just to secure them a bit more. Yeah, so that should looks okay. One over there too, and underneath here. So the sticks that I used, I've shown you a few times, these AK sticks are getting a little bit worse for wear. I did pop into the model shop to get some replacements, and Metro Hobbies, popped into them. They're in Melbourne, and I picked up these God Hand ones. I'm going to try out next. So this is a pack of 600 grit, 800 grit, 1000 grit. And this is a pack of the next up, 2600, 4000, 8000 and 10,000. Wow. So I don't know how those grits refer to or compare to these AK sticks, like fine and extra fine. I don't know what grit they are. Cannot find out. So I'm just going to compare one to one and see how it goes. So I'll see how those go, because I could not get these AK ones again. So what have I done since then? Well, I have started masking. I'm getting ready for priming now. So I've put the green soft mask, Mr. Masking, onto the round windows. And then I used the Tamiya masking tape, 6mm, on all the square windows over there, along the front, and the canopy, which I've just finished. So there's the canopy, and the doors as well with the round windows. So the canopy is prepared. It fits. You've got to jiggle it a little bit to get it in, which is good. Whoa. So that's going to be the next step over there, just to gently squeeze this in there. It goes in, and then it fits pretty flush. Oh, there it is. So as I fit that in, I'm going to take the stick and stick some glue in along this edge and that edge, and then seat it in. So that's the next step. After that, I can actually just mask off these areas here. The tails comes in. In fact, I might even fit these two horizontal ones, but not the vertical one. It's just going to get in the way. So I'll leave that off. Then I'll prime this, prime those parts that are loose, the wings, and I'll finish off the motors first. Prep landing gear doors. I'll fit them loosely into place in the closed position. These will fit in the closed position. And then I'll be able to prime this. And at that point, I can actually mask off the bottom over here. That's going to be the light gray. And I can actually paint that complete. The only part that's light gray is on the fuselage. Okay, chilly winter's day. Got my jersey on. So, taking the motor. Here in this step 8, the bottom of step 8, those are all the components that make up a motor. I've cut them all out of the sprue except the propellers, and just to study them, exhaust pipes, etc. Clean them up. I've put one together, and if one is careful, then one can actually get this propeller to turn. So you see there, the hub can actually turn there. It fits very gently into the piece over here, so there's a bit of work to be done to tidy these ones up to get this edge correct. Just to tidy that up, if you see on the others, this piece over there, this piece there, it's got some work to be done on it, on the edge, to get them to clear that little ledge there so that it fits into this cowling the correct way. See, there's some flash there to sort out. So this needs a little bit of tidying up to get this right. Here we go. And then we can get the propeller to turn. Here are the propellers. And the front covers and the propellers. So these are one-piece propellers. They're not loose blades. Interesting, make life a little easier. But this and this I will put on right at the end. So I'll leave these done. Paint the whole plane with the motors fitted into there. primed, painted. I can hand paint any pieces that are showing, like the exhaust. Yeah, and then put the propellers on the end and they will turn. Okay. Alright, so I've prepped the exhausts. They're ready. I've filed them down. Got them nice, especially on that side there that you can see it. Sticking here. Like that. So not very good quality, I must say. I have seen some third-party 3D printed ones. Now I understand why. These are not that good. But they'll do because they'll be painted black. So I've prepared those four. I've assembled the motors with the instructions, and the hubs turn. You have to be careful with the glue, and you can achieve that. They're all ready to go. Now the next step would be to take the motor cowling to carefully locate this motor in the right place. There's no real lugs for it to engage with. You just have to be very careful. There's a little lug there that sits on top of this. And that little shoulder there that I was cleaning up earlier was to fit inside there. There's not a lot of purchase on that to get it right. You have to do it, I think, in two parts, two stages. That part first. That won't be the ultra thin, it will be the normal glue. And be careful, really careful not to get it onto this outer hub that we've now taken such a long effort to make correct. See, there's no locating position for this. It's going to be a bit of, put that one in. That's one to use the slower glue. Put that in. Put the other side on. Glue it. Put the other side on. Make sure that fits over there properly. Oops. Let's see. Is that lug missing there? There we go. Like that. Check that the front is level, in line. Take a big clamp and leave it to set. That 4 times, and that fits onto there. And that fit onto the wings. But I was looking at this wing spar, and see, you can see it through the inside there. So I've marked roughly where they are located. That matches that matches the other side. I was told it by the guy at the model shop that one of the issues with this particular model is with the weight of the wings, it splits this seam over there. So that's if the wing is glued to that side and the other wing is glued to this side. But if one takes care and actually makes this strut pull that wing onto this wing and de-stress this seam, then we should be okay. So what I'm thinking about before I put the motors on here, contrary to what I was thinking before, is I fit the wings, clamp them on, then I can run glue down the inside over there, and I glue it, and actually make the strut anchor that side and this side. Hi, I thought I'd just go over how I have added a solution to this wing drooping issue, or putting stress on this bar here. So I have taken 2mm brass rod, and I have measured this to be 86 centimeters, 85.5 centimeters. And I've bent a little U, 8mm on each side, and 86 in there. It's a little U-shaped piece like that. And I've bent another one here. I've pushed it into that slot backwards with a pair of pliers. Just could hold it, could just squeeze it in backwards. That one forwards. Then the other modification is here with the wing. I have cut these little tabs off at the back because that encroaches into that slot there. As I said, I could have left this out there a little bit if I'd moved that in. Then I've drilled that little 3mm slot on each side with a drilling. Then if you now assemble it, I have tested it, so it's okay. I've also worked out this little chamfer over there works better downwards. It adds more pressure onto the wing up. So that lives there. Then we can put this in over there. Put this in over there. And it closes completely. Look at that. So I'm very pleased with that. So this will be glued in. I'm still thinking about getting access to glue the top of that strut on the inside here. But that can be glued over there. Just with normal, it just has to be anchored with this glue. And then the whole lot set together later. It's not for now. At least I've gone ahead and had a look and solved that issue. Happy with this. It's quite tight. I had to really wrangle it to get it in, so good. Okay, well, time for a checkpoint. Show you where I am so far. I finished the 4 engines with the hubs that turn. They are prepped for priming. The individual parts are prepped for priming. Prime them just like that. I have prepared the wings for the new fitment of the lock brass rods that I have in there. For the body fuselage, I have pushed these doors closed. Just some blue tack underneath there to keep them closed. The doors over there and the fuselage are both just got blue tack behind them. Main landing gear doors just fitted with blue tack. The front landing gear I've put in. I've actually completed it. The wheels turn on the hubs. I've put that in there. I've also added a few of these last minute finishes on the fuselage. That one as well. Canopies in, canopy glass. I've taped off these areas here to keep the primer off the mating surfaces. I'll clean it up on the wings and stuff later. And here, it's just rough. So basically we are ready to prime all these parts tomorrow. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please follow on the next part of this build. Also, please follow, like, subscribe, etc. Thank you.